Hi, I'm Scott Schubert, and I've been trading the Forex market almost every day of my life for the last 8 years using price action almost exclusively. I do use the assistance of some other indicators and tools, but over the last several years I've trained hundreds of people around the world and show them what I'm doing every day, live in real time, and a number of these people have gone on to become full-time professional traders who earn their sole income from trading Forex, and some have been hired with banks and professional trading firms. And more this has become known throughout the industry. However, the term price action Forex trading is used kind of loosely in the trading industry, and now many people are familiar with this term in connection with some trading methods that can actually sort of conceal and hide the actual price action that you need to see in order to make clear and accurate trading decisions. For instance, the term price action Forex is used to describe a type of trading where the trader adjusts his charts to see something like this, where you're actually looking at big, large boxes that are the candles or bars on your charts. And they look for things like inside bars and pin bars, so that, for instance, if you have an inside bar like this one right here, and then the next bar is also closing below its low, then you go short, and well, sometimes that works and sometimes not, because you see these inside bars are all over the place. And although that is possible to work to some extent, it's kind of a very, very basic and crude way of looking at the market, and something that you might find in many introduction to trading books down at your local bookstore or library. The key to actually reading price action on a chart requires that you, first of all, kind of zoom out a little bit, because price action is really determined more by the overall pattern and shape of the highs and lows on any given time frame. So if you have your charts more zoomed out to this type of thing, you can actually see something that is actually going to tell you what it is that you really need to know in order to make a trading decision. Now, while you're looking at an inside bar on the daily time frame, and if the next candle is bearish or the close is lower than the open, now there's not an actual price action trade set up on this pair right now at this time, but if there were, you would, for instance, maybe enter at 50% of the candle and put your stop loss above the high of the candle, and unfortunately not be able to see the actual price action that would show if there is an entry or not on a shorter time frame on the price action that is inside of this candle, how the highs and lows and the pattern is shaped on a shorter time frame. Much more critical than the actual candle itself. You're actually trading blind while you're doing that, because you can't see the price action that you need to see, because the price action you need to see on the daily time frame is formed by this pattern of highs and lows, and the price action that you need to see that's inside of this candle, there's a whole story that's being revealed inside of this candle just by going to a shorter time frame. So this is the daily time frame, and here's yesterday and today's candle. And if you go down to the shorter time frame, this time frame will actually tell you something if you know how to recognize a trend on a chart and identify the end of a trend, and know how to recognize a correction. Using a very clear and precise visual recognition of price action, we are able to go to this time frame on the 4-hour and identify this point as an entry to go long, and this point as a point to exit, based on a combination of the shape of the price action and some indicators that we use to help point out those points. And we are not going to go short at this time, but we may have a short entry on a time frame much shorter than this. And there were other long entries on the 15-minute to 1-hour range during this time, right in these areas. And will always be entries at these points on the appropriate time frame, and you can easily discover how to go right to the exact time frame where you can recognize the entry and get in, and know also when to get out. This way you can also place your stop loss at a point that's going to give you much less risk and much more precision, and have a much more educated and clear understanding of why you're getting into a trade and why you're getting out of a trade. The action of price draws a picture on your chart. And when that picture is hidden inside of a giant box, a candle, inside of one candle, then you cannot see the price action and the story that it's actually telling you, and what you need to really see in order to make a good decision about when to get into a trade and when to get out. Anyone can learn to actually read price action this way, but it doesn't happen overnight. It takes some time and experience of practicing this day in and day out over a period of months and sometimes years. If you'd like to find out how to actually read the financial market, to read it like a book where you can feel extremely confident that you really know when to get into a trade and why, and also when to get out of a trade, and not just get out of a trade for some arbitrary reason, but get out of a trade only because it is the right time to get out of a trade and an end of a trend is forming, and that way you're able to get the maximum amount of profit for every trade that you get in. If you really want to learn how to do that, just go to forextradingseminar.com.